In the previous video, we looked at recruitment, so specifically looking at internal recruitment versus external recruitment, and also recruiting for general specific skills. In this video, we're going to move on to training and development, and looking at training and development in terms of the current or future skills. So training, as we've spoken about really in processes, involves learning the skills needed to do a job well. Whereas development is the process of preparing employees, supervisors and managers to assume greater levels of accountability and responsibility within the business. Business benefits from training and development by retaining their experienced employees because they're continually developing them, they're making them better. Those workers that recognise the benefit of staying in that organisation, and therefore that organisation is able to retain their best staff, which also helps with maintaining or increasing competitiveness. In determining what training and development is required may involve completing a skills audit. So a skills audit is looking at all your staff. Okay, where are their deficiencies or where are their real strengths? And if there are deficiencies, what training needs to be done, and potentially what development, i.e. preparing those employees so that they can assume greater responsibility that we recognise through that skills audit. So what sort of training are we looking at? Induction, which was a big part of the process when we looked at acquisition. The induction process is really important. So that's training given to new employees when they first start their job. First few days, and really induction probably is up to the first 6 months. And it's a formal process of familiarising new employees to the business, to their job and to their unit of work. And induction helps them increase their commitment to the business, reduces staff turnover. You get inducted well, a staff member is going to feel much better about working at that particular organisation. They feel comfortable, they know where most things are, they know how to go about most things, they know who the people are they need to go and see should they have an issue. A good induction program includes things like a general company introduction, department orientation. So, if you were at Shaw here, been introduced to the members of the economics department, for example. A general job introduction, this is what your job is going to entail. Some general or company introduction to the history of the business, the conditions of employment, your occupational health and safety issues. The department orientation should include the role of the actual department within the business and the review of working arrangements and meeting of departmental staff. In terms of the job introduction, a description, like I said before, some initial training of that particular job. So in terms of a case study, AMP is a really good one to look at in terms of induction because they run a great induction program and they acknowledge the rate of turnover is greatest among new employees and they try to reduce that by having an effective induction program. It's run by the Human Resource Department internally. It lasts for 14 fully paid days, so that's a long time. In their industry, generally, the norm is 3 days. So 14 days is nearly 3 weeks. Because it's a 5-day working week. A longer induction program makes induction more effective and employees feel valued. And they split their induction into 3 areas. The AMP commitment, so the ethos of AMP, its culture. A department introduction, so key personnel and understanding the goals of the department. They have a buddy allocation program in that part where they allocate you to a person in your department to be your buddy. And then a job induction. So trained by mentors and AMP rituals and culture, i.e., the dress down Friday, what your job involves, who's responsible for it, and who you report through to. So a really serious induction program, which AMP thinks reduces their staff turnover because workers come in and they feel comfortable right from the start. In terms of training development and current skills, training for current skills is designed to enable the worker to do their current job better. So from a day-to-day perspective, not looking at in the future in terms of development, but their current job. It might mean teaching them how to use new technology so they can be more efficient or training them in new quality management processes. And the business will see the benefits immediately as soon as the skills are learnt and implemented. That training will be able to be implemented straight away. It might help motivate employees initially as they may derive satisfaction or a feeling of achievement from being able to do their job better. So potentially from training you can see an immediate increase in morale of staff. However, at certain points in a worker's development, it might cease to be worthwhile for the business to keep training them, and because the cost may be outweighing the benefit. In terms of training them for future skills, that may involve training them in how to do tasks currently performed by other people at the same level, giving them skills broadly related to their current position, That sort of skills training is a good way for the business to prepare for the future. So recognising the skills that person's going to need down the track, 12 months, 18 months time, and training them for it now. If the employees have a wide variety of skills, they may be able to cover for the absences of their colleagues. So someone is unexpectedly away for a period of time, or they go on holiday for a month. If that person's trained in other skill sets, they may well be able to effectively cover that person's absence. It can also be seen as an effective motivation tool because the employees feel that they're developing as individuals, they're learning skills that are important, and that also makes them more marketable as a staff member, and it potentially allows them to be able to ask for things like pay rises. There are some problems with that future skills approach, however. Management might only see the benefits of the training sometime in the future. An employee might leave the business before applying their new skills at the job. So you can spend a lot of money on training, and that person in 3 months' time says, sorry, I'm leaving, I'm going to another job, and the organisation has just spent a fair bit of money training that person, and they lose that benefit. The person might change jobs internally, and therefore they might not be able to implement those skills, or they might change jobs internally in order to take advantage of their new skills. Some employees might feel demotivated as they can't see the connection between the future training skills and what they're currently doing, and other workers might feel demotivated because they can see their peers getting trained, they're not, so therefore they're thinking, well, does this organisation actually value me? Do they see a future for me? And they start to question their role within the organisation. Okay, that's it for training and development, and the next video we'll look at performance management.